Yo. Yo. I think we're good. Okay. Right. Should be good to go. The lights are on. What's good, guys? How's it going? How's everyone doing? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hope you're having a brilliant day so far. Yes. Lennon, nice to see you here. How's it going? Andy, what's good? Yo, Mike, nice to see you here too. Hello. Good morning, guys. Hello. Abby, good afternoon. Nice to see you here. Good morning. W in the chat, guys. What is good? How's everyone doing? It's crazy. First trading stream of the year. We're about to get to it on GJ, gold, and maybe a little glance at Bitcoin and some other things. Dan. Hey, Dan. Little Legs. Caroline. Yo. Hasbullah, good afternoon. Emma, nice to see you here. Hello. First time joining. Nice to see you, Mohammed. We got the trading journal if you want to check out my track record, link below. And the free Discord if you want to learn more. But www, yes, Abby, W in the chat. Good afternoon. WW. Afternoon, Scott. Alvin, yo. Alright, let's get it, guys. I think my lighting is a bit bright. It's a bit bright, like a ghost. But I think we're good to go. We'll get started now. So, first trading session of the year. Really, I've glanced at the charts. I haven't took any trades until today. We took a little position on gold, which we'll fill out in the journal soon. I'll show you about that in a second. But yeah, back to it. Now, GJ's looking quite choppy. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like we might be trying to break out of this range now. We'll see how this goes. Hello, Adrian. How's it going? Got 50 people here, guys. This is absolutely mental. This is nuts. Like up the stream if you're ready, guys. We're going to get started, as always, by checking the fundamentals first. That is the most important thing. Because the reason we check the fundamentals first... I'm going to say this once, right? The reason we check the fundamentals first is because if we go onto the charts and find a setup that looks alright, but then we check the news and we go, well, there's news in like 10, 20 minutes, we will have a bias already. We will want to take a buy or we will want to take a sell. We'll want to take that trade, that good position already. So what we do instead, we check the fundamentals first, acknowledge when there's news, if any at all. Okay? Then we check the fundamentals. Then we check the technicals, starting with the bias. Afternoon, John. 60 people. This is crazy, guys. Crazy. Right. First stream back. Start with the fundamentals. Tuesday, the 21st of January. As you know, Trump is now in charge. He runs everything. He's done an absolute madness already. There's tons and tons of executive orders that he's done. He's already guarding the South. Like the border, he's renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. He's done a few other things as well. He's trying to put tariffs on people trading the USD as well, which has put the price of the dollar down. It's made it bearish. He's trying to put tariffs on. He hasn't signed anything yet, but he spoke about it. And his whole business model, near enough, of running the country is about charging all the outside countries, all the countries. He even said in his speech that his idea is to, instead of making the citizens poor and the outside countries rich, the foreign countries rich, he's going to make the foreign countries poor, near enough, and the citizens rich. He's going to charge the countries to make the citizens rich. That's his whole idea. He doesn't believe in raising taxes too high, all that kind of thing, printing more money. What he wants to do is bring in foreign money, basically, into the market, and that is the best way to do it. Because if you watched one of my first live lectures a few months ago, we spoke about how Forex works, and that's kind of that feeds into the economy. So foreign money coming into the economy boosts the economy without causing inflation and interest rates to go really sky high. And that's his whole business model. One of those ideas is to basically put tariffs on people trading the dollar from outside the country, okay? Which has made the dollar bearish. People have been shorting it, which I guess is kind of good, I think. I'm not too sure, really. But it's going down. So we have to be careful, all right? And crypto's a bit choppy as well. I think they were waiting for him to talk about it. If he said nothing at all, if he says nothing at all, it's going to go down. If he said something good, positive, then it will obviously go up. So we're going to have a look at crypto, see how that's been affected. It has been rather choppy this morning, and that's exactly why, because they were waiting for him to say something. But yeah, let's start with the fundamentals. As you can see, and I'm sure you've already read by now, 7 a.m. GBP, perfect news just before London session, giving us that boost of volume leading into London session. Then we have London session, which has already been and gone now, or it's coming to the end of it really, but we've had the volume from it. Now we've had 1:30 p.m. news, Canadian CPI, median trimmed, and then the obviously the actual figure as well. So we've had all the big bulk of news. What's left is 9:45 my time, GMT, CPI for the New Zealand dollar, which isn't going to bother us at all. We're not trading until 10 p.m. I finish my trading day around 4 or 5 p.m. Literally right after I finish the stream, after any trades play out, if there is any, whilst I finish the stream. So it's around, it's not going to, nothing's in the way here. We've got the volume, which is great. We've got nothing to worry about in terms of fundamentals, so we can literally move straight to the straight to the technicals now. And one thing I want to say just before this as well is it's going to be a little bit choppy. It's going to be a little bit difficult because this is probably the first actual day that Trump's in charge. Like we had yesterday, and that was a bank holiday. Today's the first non-bank holiday really of him being in charge since he's took office, since he got inaugurated. I think the word is inaugurated. So he's in charge. First full day. We'll see how we react to it. Now, as I said yesterday, if you watched the lecture in the free Discord that we did yesterday, I did speak about how GBP JPY won't be as affected as like other things like Bitcoin and gold and the US dollar related currencies like GU, EU, AU, and USD JPY. But it may still translate the same way news translates. Like we have USD news that isn't necessarily directly attached to the GBP JPY, but it flows through and kind of translates through to a move in the GBP JPY. We might have that same effect, but I don't think it'll be too extreme. But that's it. That's all the boring shit out the way. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Like that's like, we want to look at the charts, look at the analysis, see if there's any trades to take. Okay, we're going to take them if there are. But the three things we're going to look at today is GJ, Bitcoin, and gold. We're going to start on GJ. Okay, that's my main thing. Then we'll go into any other charts that you guys asked me to look at. But are you regular on YouTube live stream? Yes, I stream every single day, every single weekday, unless there's a bank holiday in the US. Every single day I stream, Monday to Friday. Hey Rodrigo, how's it going? All the way from South Africa. Nice to see you here. Alpha Universe. Mighty, nice to see you here. John as well. Hello, good afternoon. Right, so you can see GJ's pushing up at the moment. There's nothing too major. We're not going to try and catch this move. We're actually going to try and catch a reversal, which we'll get into in a second. But let's start on the daily chart, shall we? So on the daily, another thing as well, guys, I stream every single day on here for free, but I also do market outlooks every single day for free. So on the YouTube as well. So if you watch those, great. If you haven't yet, start watching them because, it kind of gives you the full back. And it's crazy because what you guys are seeing, you see the bias the day before, then the day of we stream, take any trades live, then we journal the trades. You see the entire process from bias the day before to literally the analysis of the entry and then the journal. So you see everything. Market outlooks are amazing. They're back again. Daily, every single weekday, same as the streams. Now, in the market outlook, which is what I wanted to get to, I did speak about the bias on GJ. I did say multiple times that if we closed this daily candle here, this bullish one right here, then we would have a bullish bias, okay? because we've inversed this fair value gap. And if you remember anything from the live lectures that we've done, we took out this low over here, okay? Then kind of reversed back to this imbalance, okay? Which means we will then continue the trend. We continued the trend to take out this new low that we formed when we took that one out. We took that low out. On our way to do that, what did we do? We formed a bearish fair value gap, as you can see inside that that line. Then we inverse it by closing above it, okay? You have to wait for the close. We closed above it, so now we should be bullish up to the top of this range over here, okay? Simple as that on the daily. But you don't just want to use one time frame on its own. You want to use it in confluence with other time frames. So if we go to the 4 hour, and this is how we find our bias, we use the daily and the 4 hour, okay? Now, sometimes it may be hard to read the daily, like we might not have any fair value gaps, we might not have any highs or lows to go to. Therefore, you go up a time frame, go to the weekly, and you can rely a little bit more on the 4 hour too. But go into the 4 hour, and I said this yesterday as well in the market outlook. You can go and watch the video if you don't believe me. It's on YouTube. I said what we've got to do first is come back to this imbalance, okay? If we go back into replay mode for just a minute, you can see that we took out this high over here, okay? And this was round about the time, round about the same time the daily broke out that fair value gap. And when it did, I said the daily has to close first if we're going to be bullish. But not only that, the 4 hour has to retrace back to this imbalance. Why? Because of ERL and IRL. We took this high out right here, which means we need to retrace, even if we're going to continue the trend. Okay, we can reverse, we can retrace. I don't care. All I know is that we've got to retrace back to this imbalance, and then from there we look at what's going on once we're actually in the imbalance. But we obviously came back to that. Okay, which also means we took out this low over here. Okay. And this is where it can get a little bit messy. So we took out this low right here, as you can see. If we zoom in, it's very, very clear. We push up, retrace, push up, retrace, push up, leaving behind this low and this low over here. We then come down, take out that low, which is this one right here, okay? Which means we can then look to retrace again. We leave behind an imbalance, so we can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. We don't need this anymore, or this high really. This is now up here. We then draw in this imbalance right here, okay? We can get rid of the daily one too. We don't really need to look at that at the moment. So right now, all we're focusing on is the 4 hour retracing back to this imbalance. And from there, it will either respect it and continue up. Disrespect it and continue up. Or respect it and continue down, okay? You don't just want to blindly take the trade, because some people may have seen the fact that we inversed it right here, okay? And I obviously acknowledge that as well. We did inverse it. We did close below it. So therefore, you would then technically try and come down to this low over here. But we've got to retrace to this imbalance first, okay? From there, we will either close above it and continue up, or just continue straight down, okay? So you've got to be a little bit careful with how you're looking at this. You don't just want to rely too heavily on previous fair value gaps. And another thing as well, if a fair value gap creates the fair value gap, like this one didn't. Actually, we'll get into that in a minute. There's no point talking about that yet. So for now, we're looking for price to retrace back to this imbalance before we even consider the option of it continuing or reversing. We're just waiting for it to come back to here, which gives us that 4 hour bullish bias, okay? Let's skip a few more candles. So we come back into it, okay? And that's kind of where we are now. We're kind of pushing back into this imbalance. So realistically, we'd want to take sells for now, okay? The bias is mixed, because the 4 hours saying bearish, and remember, when we come into this fair value gap, we are bearish until proven otherwise. Okay, we'd have to close above it for us to then be bullish on the 4 hour. And the reason for that is because when you look at a fair value gap, okay, we don't know when a fair value gap is going to be respected. We don't know when a fair value gap will be respected. Okay, there's no absolute rule. It just happened. Okay, it just happens. Like, we don't go when a candle wicks into the fair value gap and then comes back down, it's being respected. That's not a rule. But there's an absolute rule for when a fair value gap has been disrespected. And this is kind of why I trade IFVGs, not really fair value gaps as much, because there's an absolute rule for when a fair value gap is disrespected. We go, when a candle closes above the fair value gap, that is when it's disrespected. That's like an absolute, there's no variable with that really. It is an absolute. We know exactly when it becomes an IFVG. Whereas we don't really know exactly when a fair value gap is respected. until it's already happened. Because if we move all the way down here, you'd then kind of go, well, that fair value gap's being respected, okay? And that's obvious, and you're like, yeah, great, whatever. But what is the point in acknowledging that it's being respected if we've already missed the move, okay? So you'd look for it to inverse it first, but we can take sells here, and I think we're pushing down quite quickly, so I want to have a quick look first. Okay, we could actually take a trade here, guys. I think I was yapping a bit too much here. We got that IFVG entry right here. We can target these lows. If we look at the 15, we took out this high as well. I had to do that there, guys. I just got to check that. I noticed price was pushing down, but that's why I trade IFVGs and not fair value gaps, really, because there's no absolute rules. So for now, we need to target sells on the 4 hour, which means we're then got a mixed bias. So we can trade in either direction, I guess, until we close above here. Then you would purely look for buys. But let's have a look at this. So this is pushed down quite a bit. It's took out that low here. But we got that IFVG form. Excuse me. We got that IFVG form right here. And the liquidity sweep. Took out this high right here. Came into the premium zone of a 4 hour bearish fair value gap, which we would look to bounce off of. Very volatile candle. So I'm going to wait for the close, I think, here. I'm not going to rush into anything yet. But the analysis is alright. The only thing I would say is we've had kind of like a nice move up here. So really we would be due a consolidation. That's the only thing that kind of goes against this. We've had that nice move up. And then there's also the size of this bottom wick on this candle. I'd want, best case scenario, using ERL and IRL. You go, well, we've just took out this low here, so we're due a retracement. Okay, great. Where are we going to retrace to? The nearest imbalance. The nearest imbalance is this one right here. So I'd want this to close with a valid fair value gap here. We're going to get rid of the 4 hour. We don't really need that at the moment. We can get rid of that. We've got a mixed bias at the moment, guys. We've got to take sells with the 4 hour, though. So that's kind of a confluence. The only thing I'd say is this is a little bit messy. We're looking at about a risk 1.8, 1.9R if we get the entry up here. What do you think, guys? We've had this move up, so we're kind of due a consolidation, but everything else kind of aligns with the trade. We just got to retrace back to this, I guess. Let's see how this closes. Okay, we're not going to do anything until this closes. We've got the IFVG. Okay, we've got the volume, we've got the liquidity sweep, we've got the 4 hour fair value gap. We've got a lot of confluences on our side here. The only thing that kind of goes against it is this move up here, suggesting we've kind of got to get a consolidation first. But we'll see how it goes. Because that's only on the 5 minute too. Like the 15, we're in a consolidation after a massive move. So it wouldn't be too iffy. I want this to close with this fair value gap here though. Oh, well, there we go. That's invalidated now. Well, that was quick. See, guys, this is why you don't rush into trades. Because we knew price had to retrace after taking this low. Back to that imbalance. And it completely invalidated the whole idea of it. So it looks like this isn't a trade we can take yet. But the opportunity was there. But you got to be patient. You don't just rush into it, guys. Hopefully no one's firmed into that. We knew price had to retrace. We didn't really know where it was going to retrace to. But it's completely pushed up. Took out that high again. I'm going to glance at the 1 minute. I don't really look at the 1 minute too much, but what does it say? There's no fair value gaps here at all on this move down on the 1 minute. Okay, I think we can get back to analysing it now. We're going to wait for the next candle close anyway. So on the 4 hour, guys, as I was saying, we don't know when a fair value gap is being respected until it's already happened. So we have to assume it's going to until we're proven wrong. Okay. Now that's that out the way. On the 1 hour time frame, what are we looking at here? Not really many fair value gaps. No fair value gaps. There's one here, but other than that, no fair value gaps on this move down on the 1 hour. Then we get that consolidation. This is what I mean, guys. You don't get into a trade after a big move because you're probably just going to get caught in a consolidation. And if you're looking at a continuation, you'll probably just get caught in a reversal. So we got to wait for that consolidation. Now, if we go to the 5 minute, we haven't had a consolidation yet. So we could wait for a 5 minute consolidation. We've got the 15 consolidation. We've got that liquidity over here being taken. And also respecting this 15 minute fair value gap. But it has been mitigated, I think. Yeah. Okay. So plus there's this 15 minute one here too that we've got as well. So realistically, I'd say if we're going to take a trade here, we'd want the 15 to close below here. If we do that, that'll be a great trade because if you look to the left-hand side on this move up, we've got no unmitigated fair value gaps here. So we won't really come into any form of resistance, really. And there's also a double bottom there to kind of pull us down. But, yeah, I'm going to label that, actually. So let's just take a breath, all right? Let's recap this. We're not going to be taking a trade until this 15 minutes closed, at least, okay? So we at least got 8 minutes to discuss what's going on here. We've got the daily saying bullish. We've got the 4 hours saying bearish. And we're in a 4 hour fair value gap in the premium zone, which is the best place to look for sales. We've got a 15 minute fair value gap being respected as we speak, which is this one over here. We've got a high getting took out, which is bearish. We've got a 5 minute IFVG. Almost, I think. Almost. Or is it an IFVG? We've got a 5 minute IFVG. We just want to get that 15 minute IFVG and then we can catch a nice move to the downside, okay? That's what we want to see here now. That is it. If we can close around about here in the next 7 minutes, we will take a sell. And where are we going to target? How's this going to work? So we're going to target this low over here. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. We're going to target this low over here. Okay. And stops, well, that's 1, 2, I guess. We're looking at a 1R, which is a bit sloppy, to be honest. Not the best. It's just because of this wick here. Because of these long wicks here. Kind of got to be a bit careful. But then if we were to enter this, right, we would have the fair value gap, confluence number 1, like, to protect us. Think of it like that, okay? We'd have to break this, and take the high, okay? So we'll see how it goes. Hey Harry, how's it going? But in the next 7 minutes, if we close, we're looking at a 1R trade, which, you know, isn't bad. It's not the best. Not the best thing I'd want. But, yeah, we can look at taking that. Let's see how this goes. Would the 15-minute fair value gap still be valid for it to be inversed? Right, so with IFVGs, you want the IFVG to form in 6 candles or less, okay? So, in this example, if we go to the 5 minute, okay? Hey, Big Deeds. Nice to see you here. With an IFVG, Caroline, we have an IFVG right here, all right? This was formed in 6 candles or less, so it's valid, okay? And it can be mitigated, that's fine. As long as it's in 6 candles or less, that's fine. But then if we go, well, this 15-minute fair value gap over here, this one, if this was to get inversed, you wouldn't take a trade here because it's took so long, this mitigated one, sorry. You wouldn't trade this because it's took so long to do it. It literally took, like, I don't know, like probably like 30, 40 candles maybe, probably around about that. It took a lot of candles to inverse this, so you wouldn't take that, regardless of if it's been mitigated or not. Now, this 15 one right here, if this candle closes respecting the imbalance, and then the next candle pushes down and closes disrespecting it, that's fine, because even though it's technically been mitigated, we formed the IFVG in 6 candles or less, okay? And the whole idea of IFVGs is to trade that volatility move, okay? To trade that volume coming in and catch that reversal. But yeah, so this one would not be valid even if it's been mitigated because it took so long to form it. And this one would be even if it's been mitigated because it would have formed it quite quickly, okay? why GBP JPY at this hours instead of GBP USD? Well, if you trade GBP USD at this hour, it's pretty hard because it doesn't move much, first of all, and that's kind of just because it moves a lot, but not as much as GJ. And that's because GU, they clash. There's GBP USD and the USD economy, and when you look at it, most of the time they're kind of going in similar directions in terms of the economy. When America's getting better, UK's also kind of getting better, and vice versa. So they kind of clash a lot. It's a lot harder to trade. Whereas on GBP JPY, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. It moves like the most on average out of any pair. I think it's an average of like 280 pips. And that's not in one direction. That can be like a 10 pip range, 28 times. But it moves the most on average out of any pair. But also, you don't have to worry about the GU or the GBP and the USD clashing. Do you enter market or pair limit? I am asking due to the large spread for this pair. I don't use limit orders, really. I use OCO orders for my stop loss and my take profit. I kind of just enter as and when the candle closes and I choose to. I'm in the trade, but now I didn't. I'm in the trade buy. Now I didn't want it to put bigger. Great. Imp? I don't know if you mean you're in a buy or a sell there. No worry, Caroline. No worries. Happy to help. We've got 2 minutes left, guys. Looks like we probably are respecting this fair value gap. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. We're closing above it, which is the opposite of what we want. We'll see how this candle closes. If it closes respecting the imbalance, we're just going to move on to Bitcoin or gold and look at those and see if there's any setups on there. But we're going to keep our eye on this for now. And then we'll just set an alert. Like if this closes respecting the imbalance, we'll just set an alert and then go about our day really looking at gold and Bitcoin and see if it comes back down here. But it looks good. If we can invest this, it'll be a nice entry. We got the volume, we got the higher time frame fair value gap, we got the 15 fair value gap, we got the draw on liquidity. We're trading with the draw on liquidity here. So it looks good. We're going to look at gold in a minute, Mutaza. We're going to look at gold in a sec. But like the stream, guys. Like the stream if you learn something new. It's crazy to see how many people are here. We got 72 viewers, it says for me, which is crazy. Crazy numbers. It's nice to see so many people here. Right, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. I've got to find a way, right. I'm upgrading my computer in a few weeks, I think. I've been planning it for a while, but I've been looking and really looking at which one to get. I decided I'm going to get like the Mac M4 Pro, 512 gigabytes. So that means a few things. One, this MacBook is getting sold or binned or hidden away somewhere. And also we won't lag, and we can also do a few more things, because right now I'm running Streamlabs on my computer. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, it's a 2022 model, I think. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it's lagging. Like I can't load a website up right now. It'll take like a minute. So we're upgrading that, which means we can do a lot more things. My stream will stop lagging. My mouth will stop lagging. Like there's a little bit of a delay that I'm seeing right now. We can play music in the background without it crashing and lagging. And yeah, it'll just overall look cleaner and smoother, I guess. And a few more upgrades going to be coming to the stream, the way I do it. But there you go. We've respected the fair value gap there, guys. So Caroline, this is a good teaching point, because if we close down here, we can still trade this because it's still going to be an IFVG. But we've set an alert. We're going to go about our day now. We're going to look at Bitcoin next, okay? And have a quick look. Now, this doesn't look too good. We're at 103, which is a lot higher than when I last checked. We're trading news? No, we don't trade news. I do not trade silver bullet. I do not trade silver bullet. Right, so what's going on Bitcoin? Let's have a look. So we've been ranging for quite a while on the daily. We just took out our old high, I think. Yeah, we broke all-time highs yesterday. We came to 109. That's mental. 109 USD. That's crazy. I remember, I think it was November 22. We were at 15k, I think, was it? Yeah, literally, like, look. November 22. 17k a coin. And now it's almost 100k more than that. That's mental. That is mental. Right. So what's going on here? Very, very straightforward here. I think a lot of people should already be able to see this right now. So we're going to start off at this high right here, okay? We took out this high. Reversed back to the imbalance, which we respected. And this is another point. Like, we didn't know this was going to be respected until it's already happened, like until we already respected it. And that's another that is the reason I trade IFEGs, because if this was closed below, we would go, well, that is exactly where it's disrespected it, so we can take the entry there. Whereas with a fair value gap, when it's being respected, you don't really know it's being respected until it already has been. You only know exactly when it's being disrespected. So we trade that. But here, in terms of ERL and IRL, we don't mind trading or assuming fair value gaps will be respected. So right here, okay, it's a little bit messy, maybe a little bit hard to read, okay? So we're going to start this step by step. We take out the high, step 1. Step 2, we come back to this fair value gap. Step 3, we respect the fair value gap and come up to take the high, okay? So we took this high out, which means we were due a retracement. So if we go back to the 4 hour, okay, you can see we pushed up and took out the high. Then we had to retrace back to the fair value gap, which we disrespected. So you would expect price to come down and take the low. It still hasn't done that. It's been very messy. And that's simply just because Trump's now in office. No one really knows what to do until he says something about crypto. I'm not too sure if he has today yet, because it's like only like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock there, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Early morning. But we took the high out, came back to the imbalance, disrespected it, so we can get rid of this. So we should really be coming on to take out the low, okay? So that's what we want to see. Pretty much that's it. Come down, take out this low. On the 1 hour, we pushed up very nicely, and we've inversed this fair value gap here. And now this is the issue, because we have a few unmitigated fair value gaps here. If we zoom in, you can see there's one there that I've labeled already. There's another one right here. And then there's a third one. And a very small fourth one, but there's a third one right here. And then a fourth one right here as well. We don't really want to look at this because of the size of the candles. Now, I've had a few questions as well, very quickly. I've had a few questions about the size of the fair value gaps. And it's probably a question you've got right now. Does the size matter? Now, not really. But in fair value gaps, kind of, depending on the size of the candles, okay? So if there's massive candles like this and we get a tiny fair value gap, then it's easily going to be disrespected. But if we have, loads of tiny candles and then a tiny fair value gap, it's relative to the time frame. So you'd go, well, it'll be harder to disrespect it with tiny candles because you'd have to get a massive candle or a load of tiny ones going in the same direction. So when there's like a little tiny one and there's loads of big candles near it and around it like this, it's very easily going to be disrespected. So there's no point even using it really, because we could literally just jump below it and close there, and then just reverse and head back up. But in a normal one, like an average size one, and the thing is with fair value gaps, typically you don't really want to zoom in and go, is that technically a fair value gap? Like looking at this chart, like blank like this, you go, well, there's clearly one here and one here and one here, but is that, like, you have to, like, is there one right here? You have to kind of check. And that's kind of the indicator that you don't want to trade it because it's just way too small. And another thing, when there's a bunch of fair value gaps like this isn't a good entry because we have loads of unmitigated ones. And the thing with unmitigated ones is we haven't reacted to them yet. We don't know how we're going to react to them. We don't know if we're going to respect them. We don't know if we're going to disrespect them yet. So what... Excuse me, sorry. So what we could do is come back down to these fair value gaps and respect one of them, okay? So we inverse this one, great, we can take an entry, hypothetically, but then you go, well, there's one right here that we could just turn around and respect and then head back up. So we'd have to inverse this one, really, if we're going to take an entry on the 1 hour time frame, okay? But we've also respected it now, so we'd have to take buys on this, whereas 4 hours saying bearish, so it's kind of contradicting. But another tool you can use as well, if we put those fair value gaps back up, we go to the 2 hours, and you can see there's kind of only just one fair value gap there, okay? And you go, delete that one, and then just drag this one up. And there you go, just one. So if this one gets disrespected, we can trade, okay? That's kind of the idea with that. If this one gets disrespected, then we can look at catching that move straight down to like this low over here, maybe this low over here. Okay. So on Bitcoin, 4 hour is saying, what was 4 hours saying? So 4 hour is bearish because we got to come down and take that low because we disrespected the fair value gap. 2 hour, 52 minutes left, so like 1 hour left. And we want to wait for a close below if we're going to take any positions using that. But if we go to check the 15, all right, let's check the 15 minute. And we've pushed straight down as well. Like what have I said multiple times? When we have a big move like this, what is due after that? A consolidation. So even if we disrespect this, we're not going to really have like good trading price action or price structure. You got to wait for that consolidation first. And that's all part of the AMD setup, okay? After every big move, we consolidate. And you can literally see it everywhere. Big move, consolidation. Big move, consolidation. You know, this would have been nice to trade. Big move, consolidation. Big move, like quick move down, consolidation, quick move up, and quick move down. And this can be AMDX, but, you know, we don't trade that, so it doesn't really matter. Size doesn't matter, yeah. But yeah, so a little bit mixed on Bitcoin. We kind of got to wait to see what Trump said. I don't really think he said anything else. I'm going to have a quick glance at Twitter. He did launch a meme coin though, didn't he? I think. Has anyone seen that? He launched his own meme coin.
Playing from Josh's iPhone 3.
Oh, excuse me. That's my Alexa. He hasn't said anything, I don't think. Not yet, not today, not that I've seen here. I think they're tweeting about, that's why it's moved down. They're tweeting about no words. Like if you go on Donald Trump Crypto and go to the latest, you see it. Did Donald Trump betray crypto? Not a single word about it. Massive rug pull. They put it all, I think when they released Melania, took it all out with Trump, didn't they, I think? I've seen that. Yeah, he hasn't spoke about it. That's why Bitcoin's going down, really. Because he hasn't spoke about it. So, and this is the thing as well. Like I said this with GJ, like, it's not really too much of an issue because Trump's never going to directly speak about GJ. He's... do you know what I mean? An upgrade is due. But he's never going to specifically say anything about GBP JPY. He might say something about UK. He might say something about JPY. But he'll never tweet about GBP JPY. Whereas he might do that about crypto. Or he might do it about Bitcoin. And it's like, when he says it about crypto, it automatically applies to Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is crypto. You know what I mean? So that's the little bit of volatility there. It looks like GJ is pushing up, which is annoying. But yeah, that's the annoying thing here. And people, this is why it's going down, because he hasn't said anything. But the second he does say something, if it's positive, we're just going to push straight back up. That's annoying. It becomes a little bit difficult to trade that. So I'd really say, like, you know, once we're like 6 months in to his second term, once we're like 6 months in, it's not really going to happen much where he tweets about Bitcoin, because you already got, like, everyone's going to have already factored in his ideas and his point of view on it. Whereas it's his first full day in, so it may change. He may say something we weren't expecting. He may announce something amazing. He might announce the Bitcoin reserve. I noticed he did mention that. I think he did say something about a Bitcoin reserve. Yeah, we can have a look at NASDAQ. Have a look at NQ. But yeah, Bitcoin's a little bit messy to trade. I'm going to stay away from this today. Gold, we've pushed straight up. Did anyone catch this move down though? Because I did. I didn't hold on to it all the way down here though, but I was waiting for price to come back to this, and we barely wicked into it. If we go on to the daily, this is another thing with market outlooks, by the way, guys. Like, I said all this on the market outlook yesterday. We respected this bullish fair value gap, so we continued up. We've took the high out now, so we would look really to retrace. If we go to the 4 hour, we've kind of retraced already. Not much, not as, like, we haven't gone as deep as I'd like to see into this. And this is what I mean. People will then go, oh, well, that's being respected. Like, this is being respected, clearly. But it's like, it's barely even tapped into it. And that's another reason I trade IFVGs. Let's have a look at NQ. NQ works pretty well with this. We've had a nice move up, as you can see. Now we're consolidating. But we've respected this imbalance. We'll come up and we would look to target the highs, really, if we're going to do anything. We'd look to take out the high. Because we respected this imbalance. Therefore, we should. If we check the daily. The daily is slightly bearish because we just took out this high here. Now the 1 hour. We'd look for a retracement here. Back up to here. Especially if this 1 hour closes like this. If this 1 hour closes and we got that valid fair value gap. Nah, I don't trade NQ. But if this candle closes like this, we'd look to retrace back into it. If we're going to continue. It looks like we may have took out the low as well. Let's just check that. Yeah, we took out the low. We'd expect the bullish retracement back to here now. Maybe once this candle closes, we'll get that. But if we go down to the 5 and the 15, we've just had a massive move down. So you'd expect price. I think that was a good trade opportunity there as well. You could have took a sell here. That would have been perfect, really. Taking out that high. Nice. Nice work, Abby. Nice work. Nice work. You're killing it. Now we took out that low, we might consolidate and then push up, especially because the 5 minutes had that massive push down. We'll look to consolidate. But nice work, Abby. Nice trade. So there's no real trade on NASDAQ, really. Not going to lie. It's happened. But I also don't trade it, so. Bitcoin, we're going to stay away from today. Now, gold, again, needs that consolidation. And GJ is just pushing up. Not what we want to see. But in the next few hours, if the 4-hour closes above here, you can then start looking for buys. And, we'd look for that 5-minute AMD like this. Something like that. Nice work, Abby. But, yeah, guys, this is first stream back. There's not really much going on today. No real trades to take, which kind of breaks the streak as well, because we were on a streak of trades. I think we took a trade every single day for the last 2 weeks of the live stream last year. And this kind of breaks that streak. There's no trades, but nothing that I'd want to take, at least until we close above here on the 4-hour. So unfortunately, it's looking like a no trade day today. No trades on GJ or anything like that. No trades on the stream. But if you want to catch when I'm taking trades, join the free Discord. I'll send in my analysis there. I'll let you guys know if and when I enter a trade. But for now, there's nothing. Nothing at all. So, sad to say, it's a no trade day, guys. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll see what we can get from the markets. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll have a better day tomorrow. I think this week might be a bit choppy considering it's its first full week, but next week should be okay. Let's see how it goes, guys. So, that's it from me. Nothing suggesting anything at the moment until we close above this fair value gap on the 4-hour. So we need that 4-hour close because right now it's still saying bearish. We're inside this imbalance. We could end up respecting it and pushing down, which would be great. But in the next 2 hours and 40 minutes, we want to see how this closes, okay? So the free Discord should be in the link below, I think. Let's just check the stream link. I think it should be. Yeah. So there's free Discord there. There's yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. I've got nothing else to share now. There is literally nothing going on until we close above here on the 4-hour. Too risky to take any trades. We got to follow that plan. That's the most important thing. As I said yesterday, success is not taking trades and winning them. Success is following your plan. My plan, and our plan really, says no trades yet. No trades. We haven't got that IFVG set up. We haven't got that 4-hour close above the fair value gap to take those buys if we were to get a bullish setup. So that's it. Bitcoin, nothing worth trading, especially considering Trump hasn't said anything yet. Gold has had that massive move, which we unfortunately missed, but there was no setup anyway, I don't think. GJ hasn't really moved much. It's just been ranging all day, literally all day. So we'll see how this 4-hour closes. If it closes bullish above the fair value gap, then we can expect price to continue up to that high that I've marked at the top of the screen, and we can take buys. If not, we can take sells. If we get if we get a proper setup, a valid setup, which we almost had, we came so close to taking that entry, but you got to be patient, guys. I know a few people would have rushed into that trade the second we seen it. I would have a few years ago. So yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, no setups. Sorry about that, guys. Come back tomorrow. We'll kill it again. Hopefully we can take some trades. But if you want to see the track record, we started this live stream channel last year. As you can see, I think someone's in it already. It was started around the start of December. So it's been going like a month now, month and a half, almost 2 months. I just need to update it though a little bit. But yeah, if you want to see the track record, go there. If you want to catch more, join the free Discord, which is one of the first links in the description. And make sure I see you in tomorrow's stream and tonight's market outlook, okay? As I said before, you watch the entire process. You watch the bias the day before. You watch the bias play out. You watch the stream. You watch the trade entry, and you watch the analysis. You watch the entry. You watch the trade play out. You watch the exit. You watch the journal of the trade. You literally watch everything about the trade, okay? Every single detail. Don't miss tonight's market outlook, and especially do not miss tomorrow's stream, okay? We're going to catch a trade tomorrow, hopefully. Unfortunately, today's been a no-trade day, so I'm going to have to call it a day. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like the stream, etc. You know, all the YouTube business, got to ask. But hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, the same time, for the same stream. Take care, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.